Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, where we apply the principles of spirituality, philosophy, and mysticism to rapid lifestyle transformation. And today we're going back to basics. We have a great video for you. It is appreciation, the divine oil that lights the path and powers the engine to rapid manifestation. And as I've said in many videos previously, we cannot teach you anything new on this channel for the most part. There will be new knowledge and information, but the most important information are things that you already know. But, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have to keep the very simple principles that you know before your eyes. You have to always constantly go into the reasons why those propositions hold true, and you have to implement them. Otherwise, you'll forget them. So we are going back to basics here in appreciation, which is a very core tenet of manifestation. And Neville Goddard referred to the disciple Thaddeus, and he basically outlined the metaphysical meanings of all of the 12 disciples. And in our Sunday services, we are going to go into the metaphysical meanings of the biblical terms and personages and so on. And it's all very deep and very interesting, and it has immediate application to your lifestyle and to the application of these principles. But just very quickly, he said Thaddeus the 10th is the disciple of praise, a quality in which the undisciplined man is wonderfully lacking. When this quality of praise and thanksgiving is awake within man, he walks with the words, "Thank you, Father," on his lips. He knows that his thanks for things not seen opens the windows of heaven and permits gifts beyond his capacity to receive to be poured upon him. So when you have appreciation and gratitude, that is basically bringing yourself into that state of the wish fulfilled, and it gives you the capacity to receive everything that you want, things that you were not capable of receiving simply living in the carnal mind. He also says praise and thanksgiving are to the invisible gifts of God what desire, as we say our desire, what rain and sun are to the unseen seeds in the bosom of the earth. So let us enter into this topic in earnest. So oil is a substance which the ancients utilized to illuminate spaces and paths. They used it in their candles and in their torches. And even in the Orthodox Christian churches of today, olive oil must be used in the candles in these churches, and which is a very expensive and fragrant oil. And these candles must be lit 24 hours a day, and that represents the Christ consciousness. It is also used, oil is, in cooking. As a dry substance, when it's put into a pan, of course, will stick to the pan and burn. So you need the oil as lubrication in order to bring about that final desire that you want. Another apt metaphor is that petroleum is called oil. And there's a very good metaphysical reason for this also. It's used for gasoline that powers the engines to get us to places much faster than we could have without it. So appreciation brings our desire to us much quicker than we could have it without it. So oil in the Bible is used as a metaphor of appreciation. It's used as a metaphor of spirit and life force, which is appreciation because that is the driver. And of course there are two stories. The first one is of the wise virgins and the ignorant virgins. Well, the wise virgins took their oil with them, awaiting the bridegroom. And the bridegroom here means your desire, or your wish that you wish to manifest in the physical. The unwise virgins did not bring that oil. And then they asked the wise virgins for oil when they did not have it, when it became dark. But the wise virgins said, "No, we cannot give to you, but go and procure your own. Go and buy your own." That's because the wise virgins could not meet them, because the unwise virgins would pull them down that ladder vibrationally. When the unwise virgins went to seek the oil, the bridegroom came, and the wise virgins went to the wedding feast and closed the door, and the unwise virgins missed that. Of course, we know that there are eternal opportunities, and that after one opportunity ends, another will open up. But this is simply a metaphor for that one wish fulfilled. There's also the story of Elisha and the widow, who basically, she had nothing to eat, had no way to feed her children. And we will go into how all of these personages have metaphysical meanings. But Elisha said, "What do you have?" And she said, "I have just a little bit of olive oil. I have just a little bit of praise." And then he adjured her to go and get as many containers as she could, even though it didn't make sense because she didn't have a lot of this. And then she went and she closed her door with her sons, and they went and started pouring this oil. And that meant they started finding things to be grateful and appreciative of. And then they filled all of the containers. And when there was not a container left, Elisha told her to go sell that oil, and she could procure everything that she needed for her sons and herself to eat for many years and pay off their debts. And of course, you can convert gratitude to money in the bank, but you cannot be seeking that. It will seem as if you don't have enough, but as you practice and apply these principles, you'll be able to apply that. So appreciation and gratitude are the same thing. Of course, Abraham Hicks prefers appreciation because gratitude sometimes can have a negative connotation as something that, well, I'm grateful that I'm not in this bad situation. I'm grateful that I'm in a better situation, but it need not. And so for me, they're interchangeable. Joe Dispenza said, and this is the key point here, he said, gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Because when you're in gratitude, when you receive your wish fulfilled, you're grateful for that. So if you can be in gratitude before that wish fulfilled manifests itself in the physical, then you're already in the state of that. And as we know, when you are in state, the thing that you want reveals itself to you because it's already there on another dimension. There's scientific proof for this, ladies and gentlemen. If you read the books of Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, for example, there were people who were trained in meditation who they were trying to unwind strands of DNA. And when they had simply the thought, nothing happened. And when they had simply the feeling of gratitude, also nothing happened. But when they united the thought of unwinding this DNA with a feeling of gratitude, amazingly, they were able to unwind strands of DNA. You can read this in the books of Joe Dispenza, goes into the scientific aspects of this. Also, Joe Dispenza talks about, and this has all been measured by instruments, that when people would spend 9 minutes 3 times a day in periods of gratitude, they increased their immune system by 50%. So there are physical and spiritual benefits from this, as well as bringing the things that you want to you quicker than you thought possible. Of course, we all know this. We just need to put it into practice. There are 2 ways of having gratitude. You can have gratitude to what you have now, and that is a great first step. We did publish a video where I was listening to a lecture of Ryan Holiday, a short of Ryan Holiday, and he talked about being satisfied with the now. And that's going to be our fuel to take us to the next level. And that is being grateful for something that is not yet manifested. And this means that you're in the state. If you're grateful for it before it comes, that means you're in the state. And you need to try to keep that going as long as you can so that you can begin to see signs of that. It's an incredible thing. You have to fill your future now in order to manifest it. The natural response of the divine gift of attaining your state is appreciation and gratitude. I wrote these notes before I published this video. So how can we start to do this in our daily lives? I just wanted to go over some quick ways to do it. First is be present throughout your day. So simply practice the power of now as many times in the day as you can. You start looking around the room, you start noticing what is now. And the more you do this, you'll realize that that is the state of gratitude. Because as Abraham Hicks said, there are only 2 states in these tools. There's appreciation and meditation. And of course, meditation leads to appreciation. So if you meditate and focus upon the present moment intensely, you will automatically generate gratitude, and then you're carried effortlessly to that state of everything that you want. A second way of doing this is by looking for things to be thankful for and saying thank you. So you start with easy things. For example, you don't start with that neighbor who really pisses you off. You start with a very close individual, a person who you really love, or a pet, or a flower, or good food that you like, and you start thinking about it. You can even write this down. You can have a gratitude journal. This seems like things that we can just overlook because they're so simple, but man, are they so powerful. Gratitude is the most powerful tool in your arsenal. If only you would practice it. Practice it today. There's a heart meditation. We're going to be making a video on it that's taught by the Heart Math Institute. And it teaches you to generate a feeling at will. And you can generate gratitude with this. So what you do is you start breathing, you get very present, And then you imagine your heart. You can even touch your heart. According to some Native American traditions, they teach this. And you breathe through your heart. Then you feel gratitude in your heart. And you can take about 10 minutes or 5 minutes starting out to do this. You feel gratitude spread throughout your whole body. Then you feel it emanating from you, and you emanate it out to the room, and you emanate it out to the whole world. If you practice this meditation 3 times a day, not only with gratitude, but with any feeling that you wish to bring about, you can bring about that feeling at will. So ladies and gentlemen, practice gratitude and appreciation, and I want you to try to do it for the next 24 hours. Practice gratitude throughout the day as much as you can. Get into presence throughout the day as much as you can. And I promise that you're going to start seeing signs of that single day. Gratitude is the oil which illumines your path and is the motor which brings you to everything that you want in this life. Thanks for watching. If you find value in our materials, please subscribe and like so we can get the word out. I'm also doing coaching calls. Email me at Javier_Novoa for information about that. We're going to rapidly transform your life together. We have many great videos coming up this weekend, so please join me. This is Javier Novoa with much appreciation and gratitude and love. We'll see you very soon.